Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Sandbox testing. You're looking at the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and yes, we're testing out the changes that Wargaming have made to the Sandbox since the last version of the test. Now, I have to say that having watched certain of the videos that Quickie Baby's put out, I understand that Wargaming are putting out false data as regards acceptance of the changes that are suggesting to the HE shells. So it appears that they are fibbing. They are being creative with the truth. I wouldn't say direct lying, but according to Quickie Baby's data, a lot of people do not accept the changes, whilst Wargaming is saying that they've got a 70% acceptance. Quickie Baby saying it's the other way round. 70% of the people dislike the changes that Wargaming have brought in and they don't like it, but that's just for HE. Now, we're testing SPGs here, and I do not expect Wargaming to be any different when it comes to the HE rounds. Now, you'll notice I've actually loaded an unusual combination of shells, because I've got one standard round, and then I've got the different rounds, the alternative rounds, and the heat rounds as well. So let's see what I can do against this enemy here. Well, that didn't go anywhere. Rather a quick shell anyway. So I was talking too much instead of actually aiming at the enemy, but I've blown my last standard round with the stun, and we're now seeing if we can get a round in on these tanks. Well, that KV-2R is hiding fairly well, and the MT-25 is not being exactly helpful. Okay, we've got a target here we can hit. In fact, we've got two targets we can hit, and we're starting with that Skoda, but in actual fact the Skoda's moved a little, so I'm going to hit this KV-2. Well, that went long. The explosions are still fairly good, but the fact is that the effect is so bad as to be unbelievably bad. It would change the game for the worse if these changes were brought in. Very much so. Rounds out. Well, he's gone. Now, let's see what we can do with the other KV-2R. These guys are trying to test the effect of the change in HE, and one of the things that Quickie Baby actually pointed out, and I happen to agree with him, is that when you go onto a test server, you are trying to test the effectiveness of the vehicle, and I've just been spotted. So I've got to come out of aim view, and yes, there's the reason I've been spotted. It's this guy, the MT-25, and I've got no auto aim, so I'm going to have to do it manually. Well, that certainly hurt him, but I don't think I'm going to survive this. And yes, I'm out the game because the MT-25 managed to get into the back area and cause pandemonium. So my game here is over, and I'll follow it by going to somebody else. Now, one of the things that Quickie Baby said is that Wargaming was saying that the KV-2 would actually have a much better survival rate. But of course that's not true, because the people who play against KV-2s won't just be KV-2 drivers. They will be tank drivers as well, and tank drivers will be using their guns more effectively because of course the KV-2 will be doing less damage to them. So they will get more shots in on the enemy, and they will be much more effective, especially with the alternative shells, or shall we say the gold rounds, because that's the true nature of them. You see, he just shotgunned that, not shotgunned, he just derped that heavy tank number 6 and did no damage whatsoever, and you can see that he's having no trouble at all penetrating that M44, but he's now going to go in and take out the KV-2, who's helpless against this gun. Well, not completely helpless. He did get some damage, but now the KV-2 dies. Which means in effect that the meme tanks, like the KV-2, are no longer going to be effective. Again, you see an M44 shotguns a heavy tank number 6 and just gets wiped out. Now, given the low hit points that heavy tank number 6 had, he should have been wiped out by that shotgun. But you see, HE rounds are no longer effective, which is completely ridiculous. If you've ever seen World War II pictures of tanks which are hit by HE rounds, they are literally devastated by them. The outer skin of the tank is speckled with the damage that's done by an HE round. It means the shockwave would have turned the crew into jelly, literally. That's what happens. You get cellular disruption on a massive scale caused by a shockwave, and nothing survives inside the tank. Nothing living survives inside the tank, that is. Well, I'm not sure if he's trying to force his teammate to die, but will he get out in time? Yes, he does. It looks like they're both trying to get at the Skoda, but it's a funny way of doing it. Is the Skoda in there? Doesn't appear so. Question is, where is he? Well, they're capping anyway, so it won't really matter. I don't think the P43 biz went the whole way in. There he is! Hello! Well, this guy is now going to die. Unless, of course, he gets the heavy tank number 6 first. Yeah, let the P43. Let Mikey go in and kill him. That's what Klaus says, doesn't he? He says, let Mikey have a go. And the Skoda has to come out because he knows he can't face a 90mm. But he kills the heavy tank number 6 on the way. And I think the P43 is... Oh, he's died as well. So Mikey died. Yeah, it's all worked out very badly. It's funny because the Skoda T25 was one of the tanks that I actually did equip in the Sandbox myself, because I thought that would be funny to see how that one works. But you see, I didn't survive the encounter with the MT25. I got wiped out. I can't auto aim onto him, so I couldn't get the shot in, so I just had to manually aim, but I did get a chunk of him. So that one didn't work out too well for me. And I will start the replay after I've start the replay again as soon as the I've loaded into the next game. Just have a quick look. Yeah, very low down the table. Did get a single kill. The KV2 wasn't too happy an experience for him, but you see, did not make a profit. And this is a free-to-play account, obviously. Even if I'd been on a premium account, I wouldn't have made a profit. And this is one of the things that we're actually pointing out. If you have a situation whereby an M44 driver is not going to make a profit out of a game, yeah, I think you are working on the basis that a lot of players are going to be leaving the game because they won't be able to use the M44 to make credits. And a lot of Arty players who normally play just about every form of Arty will be saying goodbye to wargaming and putting their money somewhere else. So we've already had a list of about 10-20 people, and that's just on our Facebook page alone. There's a lot more who said, nope, we're not going to stay with the game if wargaming's going to alter it to change Arty and make Arty far worse than it is at this moment. Wargaming has continually nerfed Arty, and if they continue to do this, then obviously they're going to lose a lot of players. They're going to go the way of Armored Warfare. They're going to decide that they want to take Arty out of the game, and all of a sudden they lose a huge number of players. Well, more fool them if they do, because I'm one of them. I'm one of those persons who've already decided that if wargaming makes these changes and puts them into effect, I'm going to leave the game. And I've got nearly 7,000 videos on YouTube, all of which I could just delete and close the account. But I may just decide, well, I'm leaving the game. I'm not going to take part anymore, because what's the point of taking part in a game which you no longer enjoy? And I think that's the thing that wargaming need to work out for themselves. Do they want to lose 20% of their players? They may very well do so. Anyway, I'll start the game, start the replay again as soon as we load in. Okay, and we're back into the game again, this time on Highway. Still using the M44 because we'll do a prolonged M44 test. I'll see if I can get as many games in as I can with the M44. It is the Arty standard, you might say, but I'll also do one for the M53, M55 to see how that one handles. The only thing I think that many people have actually said they like about the changes are really the explosions at the other end when the shell arrives. They look more realistic than the current ones. Obviously, artillery does make shell craters in the ground, so it would be nice actually if they were able to put shell craters in. I mean, real shell craters, craters that tanks have to maneuver over and through. You might say, why am I going this way? Well, there's a reason to my madness, you might say. Don't always want to be in the same spot that the enemy thinks you might be in, because that way they can counter battery you. Well, I'm actually making it incredibly difficult for the enemy to counter battery me because I'm not in the usual spot. Okay, we've got an enemy tank over the other side of the battlefield, and I'm now homing in on him. It's an E25. There he is. Okay, rounds out. Well, not very accurate, but then it wasn't fully dialed in. We've got a Skoda T27 making his way up here. Round's almost about ready. And I lose sight of him just when I need to be loaded. Okay. No sign of the enemy, but we know the Skoda... Oh, he's behind that building. I just saw some destruction going on behind there. So, can't get a shot in. We know the E25 was last seen in these bushes. I suspect that's where he still is, so we'll just give him a wake-up call. Time for you to leave the bush. If he is in those bushes, he's probably at this moment suddenly realising he made a bad life choice. Okay, let's see if we can get around in on this eagle. Rounds out. Yep, direct hit for 131. Normally that would do at least 200 hit points of damage, but instead I'm getting about half of that. Now, Wargaming said the amount of damage reduction was 10%. No, it's more like 30% or more, depending on how you play the game. Well, 47% of splash. That normally would have yielded about 100 hit points. Instead, I've got virtually nothing. I'm watching the town because it looks like the enemy have won the town. Rounds out. Yeah, it looks like they are going to win the town, but I'm still focusing on these guys over here for the moment, even though we're outnumbered, overhanded. Let's see if I can get something more on them. Oh, he's gone. And it looks like I can swap to the town now because, yep, it looks like my teammates have got that one in hand. So my vehicle's revolved around and I'm looking for a target I can hit. There's one going through the gap now. Rounds out. 195. A good decent shot into the side of the IS-2. I've got a red line there. I think that's the building that's in the way. Okay, I think he was about to come out through that gap. If he does, I will have him in the rear. Okay, we've got another tank attacking that guy. I can't hit him because my teammate's in the way. But we've got an OI coming out of that gap now. Rounds out. And the enemy is making their way down towards us. So at this point in time, I have to skedaddle out of here. I can't stick around because if I do, I'm going to be toast. Yes, you can be inventive with your artillery firing positions, but the problem is that sometimes it doesn't work out so well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in over here. And then up this bank. Oh, no, can't turn sideways. And again, no, it's not going to go. So I've just gone up a steep enough bank. I can't get traction. That's better. And yes, we're up here now. Okay, we've got targets in sight. I think I'm going to knock this tree down to actually provide a bit of cover because we've got the enemy nearby. Now, there's an STG. Let's see if we can put some hurt into him. Rounds out. 22 hit points. You see, doing virtually no damage at all when an M44 should be doing a lot of damage to these enemy tanks, especially when you're getting near misses. Okay, we've got a T-77 over here, who's actually an auto loader. Let's see if we can get him. He's working, he's moving backwards and forwards. Rounds out. Direct hit, 40 hit points. Ridiculous. Virtually no damage whatsoever. Mind you, he is a heavy tank and that did hit his front. The OI we saw coming out of the town, he's actually moved over here now. Rounds out. And that's a direct hit. Okay, so if we can get another one into him, that would be helpful. See, I'm teasing the red line over him, so I know I'm on target. Shouldn't be a problem with the ridgeline. That hit the ridgeline. Okay, we've got the STGs moved close to the cap. They're actually defending the cap in force now, and we're now down to an even amount, so I need to get some damage on these guys. Rounds out. Direct hit. Didn't kill him. Should have killed him. Go for another shot on that target. One more should be able to finish him off. He's retreating because he doesn't like what happened. Rounds out. This should kill. It does. Okay, we've got an OI over here. Let's have a look and see if we can do him. Okay, he's moving fast. This is going to be difficult because of the ridgeline. Rounds out. No, hits the ridgeline, unfortunately. We're now only 2 enemies left, but the OI is a rather difficult customer to get because of that ridgeline. I've got 2 tank destroyers and we've got 2 heavy tanks on the enemy team. There's the T-77. He's come back into sight. Have to dial in on him. He's on the move. I got stun on him and unfortunately he killed my teammate. So I'm going to lose sight of him soon unless my teammates can see him, the E25. Okay, now we're going to go for the OI. In fact, I'm all alone now, so I'm going to lose sight of all of these enemies. Right, okay, well, I've got nobody left on my team. You notice I've been firing the standard rounds. The usual situation in these circumstances, I've been spotted. Yeah, T-77 must have seen me. I was going to go up into the corner and start lobbing shells at my own cap when the enemy started capping, but nope, they found me. Okay, so that game's over, and again you can see that the performance of the M44 is way down on what it would normally be. I hope you find these Sandbox test videos useful because I'm trying to give you a good indication of how dreadful the performance of the Arty has changed. You can see here I'm mid-table. Normally I'd be in the top 3. You can see the reduction in damage, and remember I said some of those shots I should have got 200 instead of 100, or I should have got a lot more damage. I did get a kill, yes I did, but and in fact actually it was a splash kill, but the fact remains that I should have expected at least 1,500 damage, maybe more, and I'm mid-table with only 1,076, so definitely down. When it comes to XP though, I was 3rd, but that's because of the performance of the team overall, and well, yeah, leaves a little to be desired. We'll carry on testing and we'll see in the next video, or in the next replay, if I can do any better. Okay, the next game is now loaded. And this time around we're on steps. Yeah, there's plenty of positions we can go to. We can either go to the corner, the southeast corner of the map, or we can go to the back row, which is basically just behind the cap area up on the heights. Or we can go over to the west side of the map behind the rocks and support the team on the west side. But let's have a look and see what we decide to do in this one. The big Warriors steps, of course, is that somebody does a quick end run up this end of the map to spot where everyone is. I'm looking, there are some bots in this game, so maybe Wargaming can't make up the numbers. I've spotted 3 bots so far. The Jacksons are bots, so's the Crusader and the MT25. We're going to go over to the west side and support from over here. Okay. Well, looks like the enemy is already visible over on this side of the map. The gun's revolved. We've lost sight of the target, so we're going to go over after the A46. We're seeing that the Arty is targeting this area. Rounds out. Nope, went long, but the A46 is dead anyway. We've got another target, a T-37. He's in the furrow, or the dip, you might say. Loaded. Rounds out. He's gone. Yeah, don't get tracked in an obvious place like that, because you are going to end up getting dead. Even if you're fighting a bot, there might be an Arty player out there who knows how to handle it and will finish you off. Okay, we've got a Tiger 131, rounds out. 60 hit points from a direct hit into the side of a Tiger 131. I think you can see the massive reduction in the damage that Wargaming has applied with these HE rounds. I am firing just the standard HE at the moment. I'm judging that the KV-2R is going to be bound there by the time I got a hit. Yep, it definitely hit him. Okay, we've got a Jackson. Getting a request for fire. Target marked. Now, he's going to pull back a bit. He's gone down and rounds out. He's tracked. Kill shot. That was definitely a penetration, but then the Jackson doesn't have any armor as such. Well, half-inch armor. It's designed to stop bullets and fragments, but it's not designed to stop a 155mm howitzer. Rounds out and Tiger. Right on his rear for 203. That's more like it. That's what it should have been. This guy is my next target. I will mark him now. I'm worried about that 5916 because he's going after the bot. The Tiger 131 is still stationary. Ah, he's moved. Okay, switching over to the P43. No, he's not in sight. We're pushing up the west side of the map. And there's the P43. He has moved. Okay, and he's gone. He's derped. Go for the KV-2. Rounds out. Well, it stunned him, if nothing else. He's going after the ARL. Now, let's see if I can end his game for him. Okay, mark target. And he's killed by the ARL, so that's good. Well done by the ARL. Poor game for the KV-2R, because he can't use his derp anymore. Rounds out the 88. Splash hit. Okay, we've got 2 heavy tanks together. I'm going to go for the KV-2. How was your gaming experience and all that? He's moving forwards. I've lost sight of him. Okay, we're going to go for the 88 instead. Rounds out. Direct hit, 101. That's all I managed to get. There's the Tiger 131. He's come back into sight, but we will go for the KV-2. He's just derped our ARL. So I'm going to derp him with an HE round. Rounds out. Well, no, that stunned them, but it didn't kill them. And the M44 on the enemy team is running. Let's see if we can do a quick bit of counter battery. He's turned to shoot, which is a bad mistake because he's about to die. Yep, my teammate in the other Arty got him. But we've got nobody between us and the enemy now, so I am skedaddling out of here. because if I stay where I am, I'm going to be in trouble. So I need to get below this ridgeline, and that's all I need to do. And now I can aim back at the enemy over here. We've lost sight of him, but we've still got the Tiger 131. He's stopped. Rounds out. And he's gone. Bad gaming experience for him. KB2R's next. Target. Nothing's changed about the reload characteristics of the M44. It's just the amount of damage it does. Rounds out. Into the turret. Okay. KB2R's going down this shot. He's a one shot. He's an easy kill. And he's popped. Okay, the 88 is still making his way towards us, I believe. Where are you? Well, we've got the Nashorn up on the heights, and I will take him if I can get a solution. No, can't get a solution. There's the 88. He's actually trying to escape now. And you're next. Rounds out. One up is Jaxie for 89 hit points. We are going to win this game. But the question is, how much damage do I get? Well, I'm not going to get any damage on the Nashorn from where I'm sitting at the moment because he's in a well-hidden position. Oh, my teammate just managed to get around onto him, so I will go. Oh, he's gone. The Rudy got him. So this one is a victory. You can see I have had an ace tanker and a high caliber in this M44 already. And there's my teammate who's actually on the Russian service, so he's probably one of the Russian Arty players. And so 0-7 to you, mate. Let's have a look at the end of battle results and see how well I did in this one. Well, it's a first class tanker, this one. You remember I've had an ace on this before, so it's no big deal. 1,474, slightly more than I was expecting, given the reduction in the amount of damage. Normally I would be getting around about, for this sort of game, about 2,000, maybe slightly more, because I was getting some decent hits on the enemy. I did get 3 kills, which actually put me as top scorer on my team, but the top scorer overall was the T-3485M on the enemy team. 4 kills, managed Nadens and a high caliber. I was quite some distance behind him, you can see on damage. Normally I would be keeping pace with the top scorer in games like this. So yes, you can see a big reduction in damage. I'd say it's more than 30% actually reduction in damage. So let's have a look at detail. If you take off the 20,000, obviously, because that's premium consumables, which of course they're deducting automatically, add 20,000 to that, you see I made an 18,000 profit at standard. On this I would have made a 29,000 profit on the premium account. So that's the end of that game. I will start the video again when we load into the next game. Okay, we've got a game, and this time round it's on Airfield. There's 2 M44s on the enemy team. We've got an FV304, the Burt, and myself. So the enemy seems to have an advantage because they've got 2... Oh, dearie me, I've just noticed who one of the Arty players is. It's WeWatt. And WeWatt, as you may know, is a What Arty Noobs member, one of my colleagues. And he's on the NA server. I think he's probably going to notice me. Bigger stickers from the NA. So he will be trying to counter battery me. There's no doubt about that, because it's a badge of honour, you might say, that he will try and take me out if he can. Well, I'm going to try and be unconventional. I'm not going to go to the usual spots I go to, and I will vary where I am. But of course, I don't know where he's going to go. But I'm guessing. Oh, now I just got hit by the steel Waffenträger on our own team. Yes, he's hit me again. Oh, silly boy. Now the head-up display, you can see there, it's just actually quite useful, that, but it's a little too faint for us to actually be able to utilize it. I'm looking for any tracer emanating from those bushes, expecting that WeWatt might take a conventional position, but I'm not guaranteed that. Okay, WeWatt hasn't taken a conventional position, not yet. Let's see if I can do some damage to these guys. Laws's M4, which is the Sherman that was given to the Soviet Union. Okay, he's gone missing, but these two guys are still here, and there's a Jackson there now. We can't afford to not hit a Jackson, because after all, he's very thin armor. Rounds out. There's a nice bit of hit there. Lost sight of the other guys. I think he is still in that bush. Oh, dearie me, dearie, dearie, dearie me. I think we just saw that somebody is over here. Rounds out. Yep, I definitely saw Tracer coming from this area. And normally you'd actually stop firing. I would not fire. Oh, there you go. There you go. Rounds out. They may try to counter battery me. I may have actually just woken them up and said, go find a new firing position. That's possibly what. You can see the Tracer emanating. It's a lot closer to the vehicle now than it ever was before. I'm not moving at all in between shots. I should be. He's moved forward a bit there. He might try to counter battery me. I'm going to move forward. No, he's definitely moved position. There's no longer any traces emanating from this area, so they have been thoroughly chastised. But it looks like I've got incoming T-52. I'm going to have to move. And I'm not going to be able to get away in time, so I'm just going to have to defend myself here and now. And I think now, because there's nothing I can do, I'm just trying and ram him. Yeah, incoming Arty shell. And it was the Russian player who actually got the kill on me. And the T-52 dies promptly afterwards. So we'll just have to wait and see what happened. The T-52 did a suicide run, you might say, coming in the way he did. Because he got killed by my E25 there. Who's now promptly moving around. I think it was the E25 who got him, but anyway. We're one tank down on the enemy at the moment. And we're down 2,000 hit points in total. Mind you, a lot of that is down to the fact that I got wiped out. You don't normally expect Arty to get wiped out this early in the game. Still, we'll see if I actually managed to hit Watt earlier in the game. He is a good Arty player. Oh, he's moved. We can see the traces. We know where he's coming. One of them is down in the south. The other one's actually moved slightly up behind the cap area. So I prompted them to change position by splitting apart. Again, I think Watt does know there's this. Oh, you can see the Tracer very clearly. It just gives a complete sign to enemy light tanks. This is where I am. Come and kill me. The moment you see the Tracer. Yep, definitely in the south. One of them, I think that's probably Watt. And the T-29 gets a shell from the other Arty behind the cap area. So it's very clear that what Wargaming wants is Wargaming wants the light tanks to go out and kill the Arty by knowing where they are. There you see, he got warning the moment the shell was fired, and the shell then's arrived. It does very little time for you to move out the way, but it is potentially enough time for a light tank to move out the way. And if he moves slightly closer to the cliff, yes, you see the Arty round there hit the cliff side, because of course he's in cover. And that's the moment you know you're under Arty fire, then all you have to do is move to cover, and then there's not a lot you can do to stop the enemy. They've got much more hit points than we've got, 3,000 to our 1,804, which kind of makes me think actually that we are going to lose this game. But remember, they've got 3 tank destroyers, we've got 2 heavy tanks and 2 tank destroyers. and I think these guys are headed towards the cap area. The enemy does have 2 E25s, but our tank destroyers are on a strategic position close to our cap area, so if the enemy did try to cap, they would find themselves in trouble. Now, I can give a little hint to these guys that that's where one of the Arty is. Yep, I've said Arty and south and behind the cap. You can see one of the E25s is very badly damaged now. Only 21 hit points, which makes him a splash kill. I was thinking in terms of Arty. There's the other E25 again. They're doing suicide runs, you might say. Not a smart move against the T29. He thinks he's below the gun depression, but he's not. And of course, since this is a heavy tank, yeah, he's going to get mullered and he's out the game. And so is that T29. And it was the SU-100 who got the kill on him. Actually, it wasn't Wee Wat who's in the south. It was this guy. I think that was the guy who killed me. And we've only got one guy left now. It's the ISU-122S, the premium tank destroyer. So it looks like we're going to lose this battle. And if we do see Wee Wat, we'll get to see if we caused any damage to him. I didn't check at that moment if the enemy Arty, the other M44, actually did have any damage to him, but I suspect he did. You might as well just stay in this position for the meanwhile. Yeah, there you go. There's your first target. He auto-aimed onto him, but the SU-100 stopped the moment he was spotted. And I suspect that he thinks that he's up here. Oh, now he's given away his position. Yep, 6 cents goes off, and there's Wee Wat. Wee Wat's definitely on him. That E25 is coming around. Now, be a big mistake if the E25, yet Wee Wat's still trying. Big mistake if he tries to come around the other side, because at least this way he can still be hit by the SU-100. He killed the E25 fairly easily. Remember, it's a 122mm gun, and once he's on the reverse slope of this hill, it's fairly difficult for Wee Wat to get shots on him, so Wee Wat's going to have to relocate if he wants. And if he kills this SU-100, and he is full health, but that doesn't indicate he's a good player, then it will be fairly difficult for the enemy team, because remember, this is a tank destroyer. Oh, here comes Wee Wat. Oh, it's not Wee Wat. Is that the other one? That's the other one. And now he's in a bit of a pickle because he's caught in the crossfire. And he's killed by an M44 round to his rear at close range. In fact, I wasn't killed by the M44. I was actually killed by Nikolai in the T52. So let's have a look at the end of battle results, and we might send a quick message to Wee Wat to say hi there, because then he'll be part of the video. He does stream, by the way, as well, so do watch out for that. Did we get damage on him? No, we got damage on the other M44, 127 hit points. We didn't hit Wee Wat, so Wee Wat was probably relocating after every shot and being very, very careful. We'll just send him a quick message. Oh, we can't send messages. Oh, that's annoying. As part of the Sandbox server, they're not allowing you to send messages. But, yep, that's Wee Wat. He's a member of What Arty Noobs. Did fairly well. 1,013 hit points of damage. Well down on what he would normally get, because he's another high-flying player. He would normally be up at the top, in the top 3 at the very least. He's very accurate. He did get some good hits. In fact, you saw there, he fired 16 shots, 3 direct hits, 9 splashes, and 1,013 hit points. Well down on what he would normally get in terms of damage after that many shots and that many hits. So, that's the end of this replay, and we'll just see how well it did. Yes, I would have made a profit on a free play with the consumables taken out. And I only got 3 hits in the entire game. I shotgunned the T-52. I hit the Jackson for 46, only splashed him. And of course 127 off the M44. So not a very big battle, but I would have made a profit on that one, funnily enough, which is very surprising. Okay, we have a game, this time on Minsk, which is an unusual map. There's lots of buildings which actually can form cover for the enemy tanks. It does have that open field, but there are some angles you can use which will enable you to get shots on the enemy. Now, most Arty players would stay near the cap area because of safety's sake. If you try to stay, if you try to move away, chances are you're going to get caught out by the enemy if they make a push on a particular side or not. I'm going to go to the side where they don't normally push, and I think you know which side that actually will be. Okay, game started. Yes, if you go down the east side of the map, there's less chance the enemy's going to find you if they push, and of course you've got the buildings to protect you. Okay, we're loaded. 15.8 second reload, which is well down, because normally I would get 15 second reload, but I didn't use my premium, my bonds, to put the best rammer on this Arty, because what I was doing instead was using it for the other Arty, the top tier Arty. Rounds out in the KV-1S. Get a few hit points off him. I can see a box tank moving at the back of the map. Okay, he's coming to that corner. Rounds out. Oh, yeah, sneaky that one. Fired just at the moment he pulled forward. Now there's a E25 and a Type 64 sitting near the bridge. I've got no sign on him at the moment, but I'm going to fire around in there anyway. Oh, went long. Now normally at moments like this I go to overhead to see exactly where the fall of shot is in relation to the target when the target's hidden. That's normally the good guide to see if you can get the shot on target. Rounds out. Now he's pulled back. You see in the reduced stun, difficult to hit. We've got an AT7 at the back. We know there's a box tank somewhere around here. So we're going to try and put a round on the AT7 and persuade him that he doesn't want to be there. I'm going to key up the premium round. In fact, the penetration round, because the next target is going to be this guy here at the back of the map. I'm hoping I'll have it ready in time. He seems to be taking a lot of fire. Oh, he's gone. So I've loaded a premium round, but unfortunately the target's now out of the way, so I can't hit that guy. Can I hit anybody else? Nope. Nope. No. No shots there. In fact, I can see that the enemy's broken through on the west side of the map, and we're going to lose this game now. So, unfortunate. But the best thing I can do under the circumstances is get the block out of here quick and try and make it to the other end to start capping. I could actually try and put some shots on the enemy at the other end over there. Okay, now let's try that method of quickly changing shell. So we've selected that. Does it load quick? Yes, it does. So that does work. And notice we just loaded the second shell very, very, very quickly indeed. Now, can I get shot on this guy? Rounds out. Okay, we'll select the normal shell. We've lost him. Now, can I get a shot on this Cromwell B? He's headed towards me in a straight line. Selected standard shell. There's nobody between me and the Cromwell, so I'm out of here. It's always the best tactic to get the hell out if you haven't got any other means other than yourself to shotgun him, because remember the reload is 15.8 seconds. I'm not going to be able to reload in time. The Cromwell's coming straight after me. He knows where I am. He's looking for me. No, he doesn't know where I am, actually. Yeah, he's actually gone into the building complex thinking I'm there. Yep, they've started capping. Now, if I was going to get shots on him at the moment, I would need to go into the buildings or the open area round about here. Oh, looks like somebody did kill the AT7. Now, we've got an E25 on the enemy team. I'm a bit wary about going in this area here, but I have to, because if I'm going to get shots on the enemy... Hello, Mr. T29. Rounds out. Well, it partial reset because one of the enemy is in the inside that courtyard. I think that's where he is. Okay, we've got a KV2. Not going to be able to get another reset on him. Lead the target. Rounds out. Okay, we've got a Rudy. He's a one shot. We can't win this. Yeah, I couldn't get a reset because I didn't know where they were, and even if I tried to lob a shell in, I was actually in grave danger from the E25 who was coming in from the east. I didn't spot him until it was too late, but there was not a lot I could do anyway. So we did get 15 defense points on the cap, not much damage. I did hit the AT7, the KV1S, and I stunned or tracked the T29, which got his the defense points. Puts me well down the table, 213. Minsk isn't always a hot map when it comes to RT, and usually it's better for RTs which have got high trajectories on their shells, such as the Hummel, which tend to do rather well on this map. You can see, yeah, no good on kills because I didn't get any. And if we look at detail, well, yes, take off the resupply consumables and I would make a profit of 4,000, but XP way down. So not a good game, that one. But I will load back in when we start a new game. Okay, we've got another game, and this time it's Ghost Town Encounter. Now the problem with this one is it's the cap area inside the town which you have to try and constantly reset. Taking into account the fact that that cap area has got the normal encounter area, I would say, or point to where where maximum conflict occurs, is at grid square E6. It's on that corner, so you really want to be able to get shots that cover the inside of that corner. And so normally I'd be going up the east side or staying on the east side, but I'm actually going to head to the west side in this one. Let's see if the enemy also recognises this. Looks like my team are redistributing up the east side. They're going to encounter the enemy tanks who are doing the same. Okay, I've got a Cromwell with me. I'm sure that there's going to be some enemy spotted shortly. Now, going up on the heights like this normally would be a bad move because you're more prominent when you're up high. Okay, enemy's been spotted. It's a Progetto in the town going for the cap area. So I wouldn't recommend normally going up this high, but you do have these big rocks in between you and the enemy. And yes, the enemy is now firmly in sight, so I'm going to see if I can put a few shells down range. I just saw the Arty. I know where he is. So I got some damage and I got some stun assist. Okay, we'll go for the special shot. No, he's going to die very shortly anyway. He's gone. Okay, what have we got down here? Have I got a shot? Only just. Rounds out. Hit the building. The enemy Arty is in this dip set here. Okay, so usual trick. Turn off all aids. Press the V key. You should be able to see where the enemy Arty is located. I didn't check to see which Arty it was. He is definitely in this dip area. This is where it was last spotted. You have to scan the area with your eyes. Look for your peripheral vision. And we're still not seeing anything. In which case, we're going to come back off. Because I'm going to go to try and hit these guys on the corner. Rounds out. Okay, it stuns him. Tracks the Samur. We saw the tracer again, so I think he may actually be up on that hill rather than actually at the back. Okay, you're going to get the shell. Rounds out. Okay, we're going to select the second shell. So we're going to have one normal shell followed by a second shell. Two shell. Okay, so that's tracked him. He's backing off. The second shell's not going to do any good, unfortunately. Yeah, he's into cover, which means these guys are the ones who are going to have to get it instead. Rounds out. Just missed him. Okay, what have we got over here? Oh, we've got a IS-2M. He's going for that corner. I'm loading a second shell again. Rounds out. He's out the game. Okay, who's next? There's a KV-2R over here. I need to make his gaming experience fulfilling by taking him out of the game. Thank you very much for stopping. Rounds out. Oh. Well, it would have landed near his position. I'm selecting standard ammo now. Who's next? Can't get shots on these guys. You can see I have got shots on this corner of the map. If they make a move towards the cap circle, it's going to be noticed. We are way up on the enemy now, so it looks like we are going to win this game. They're being surrounded. We've got a Fury up here on the corner. He's very low hit points. Wait for the gun to pull round. It has pulled round, but the Fury is dead. We've got an E25 up on the hill. He's going to take her round. Dialing in. Rounds out. Direct hit. 206. That's quite a good shot, that one. The enemy Arty has been spotted. It's an M44 and he's just gone. There was only one. Okay, I think we've got this one in hand now. The Progetto is falling back. Nowhere for him to go. T43 is somewhere over here. That's where he was last seen. E25 can't see him. So he might be up here. Oh no, there he is, there he is, there he is. Okay, dialing in, lining him up, and rounds out. Landed short, loading standard round again. He's not going to survive this. The Samur has got him, which means now the only enemy left is up here somewhere. I'm kind of guessing he's going to be ready for that E25 when he comes up the hill. Oh, there he is. Okay, rounds out. No, nowhere near him. He's trying to ram. Yeah, well, good try. Nothing else he could do. He was surrounded. Fair play to him. He did what he could. So we got a victory out of that one, and I got one kill. Quite a meaty kill as well. That was the IS-2M with the special round, the alternative round, the beefed up round that's got more penetration, more damage, but no stun. And we've got another ace tanker. Okay, well, surprised Surprise, surprise, surprise. Well, not really, because remember the standard is much lower on the Sandbox. So seeing as I'm one of only a couple of hundred people who are on the Sandbox in the M44, the fact that I've got an ace tanker out of this game is no biggie, so to speak, especially considering the amount of damage I did. 608. Normally expect to be up here in top 3 with about 2,000 hit points of damage, but no, not on this game. XP is a little higher though, 3rd place on XP, so you can get the impression that they may have beefed up the amount of XP you're earning now. They may have taken note of what we said and increased the amount of XP for the damage to compensate. Because the point is, if you don't do enough damage and you don't get enough credits and XP, then you can't progress. And if you can't progress, then people are not going to stay in the game, are they? They're going to go elsewhere for their kicks. And Wargaming's going to miss out on the money. Let's have a look at detail. Well, take off the 20,000, and yes, you would have made a profit of 20,538 credits. And on a premium count, I would have made 33,742. Okay, so ace tanker game on that one. Let's have a look and see what we do with the next game. I'll start this video again when I load in. And we have another battle. Now, I may not have told you at the start, but I am actually recording these one after the other There's no... I'm not selecting which replays to put into this video. You're getting them as I play them. So you're seeing them one after the other. All I'm going to do is I'm going to chop out the bits while I'm waiting and string all the replays together so you go from one to the next and you get an honest impression of my M44 play. You all know that I play the M44 a lot, so I have a good idea how to use this machine. Oh, looks like I've got a guard dog, an E25. Thank you very much, Mr. E25. Stops any of those pesky E25s on the enemy team having a go at me. Gotta wonder why everyone is actually using the E25, but I think it might have something to do with the fact that they're getting a chance to play a tank that they don't normally have. Okay, Mr. Carnarvon, you are there. Rounds out. Right into his rear. He can't be too happy. Using standard shells at the moment. Oh, we've got such a lot of lovely juicy targets to fire at, because this is a top tier game. Rounds out. And that's a direct hit on the, I think it was the KV2. Oh, it was directly behind the Borsig. So he's not a happy bunny. We've got a Scorpion, the tier 7. Oh, I do want this one. And he's gone. So not a lot I can do about that. I think that was the one I hit earlier. Firing a snap in there. Okay, we've still got loads of tanks which haven't even bothered to move. So of course I will take advantage. And I think my teammates are saying to themselves, oh, what a spotting here. And we've lost sight of the enemy, so I'm going to switch over to this side of the map. I've got a red line there. In fact, I've got a partially obscure reticule. Rounds out. That gives them a warning. Please keep off the grass. Carnarvon. Oh, he's an easy target as he is at the moment. That's the one I hit earlier, I think. And where are you? There you are. Rounds out. No, it hit the rock face in front of him. I'll try and get another round in there. Got a lot of enemy in sight now. Can't hit the E25 to the left of him, but I will hit this guy. Stunned him. Can't hit the E25. I've only got 4 tanks in front of me there. Okay, enemy in sight over here. The KV3 didn't move away, which is a bad move for him. Rounds out. Lands next to him, stuns him. AMX 50. Oh, he's gone. Okay, target. Difficult shot. Rounds out. Stuns him. Is he still there? Mark the spot. We'll give him a shot anyway. He is still there. He didn't move. He was just sitting there. Okay, the KV3's come down. Okay, so I will have a shot at him. Getting a red line. Okay, things are not going well over here. Target. MT25. You gonna back up for me? Back up. Jedi mind trick. Rounds out. Things are not going well. Okay, target. Can I get a shot? No, I can't. Can I move slightly over? Would have been counter batteried normally, but oh, now actually see that, but there's a KV2R at the other end, and I'm getting a request for fire on this guy, so I can't not oblige on that. Thank you very much. He's gone. Okay, now this is a problem now because the enemy is getting close. Target. Oh, now again this is a problem because I cannot get the gun depressed. I don't think that I think that annoyed him. I don't think that impressed him at all. Oh, he just ammo-racked some guy. Okay, let's go for the KV3 at the other end. He obviously turned around and went back. See if I can get some damage on this guy. He just reset our cap. Rounds out. And that just leaves the E25 as the last remaining enemy. I'm going to come down from here actually. And I'm going to go up the bridge road. Because if the E25 is where I think he is, KV2R is going to find him, but he might have returned to the cap. Oh mama, he is there. There he is. And can I haven't got a shot. Tiger 131, can you get a shot? No, unfortunately, but he is a one shot now, splash kill. Where are you going? He's going down the ice road. Okay, he's going down the ice road. Oh, I've been spotted. He is in the bushes somewhere ahead of me. Oh, he managed to get a shot in. No, he wasn't in the bushes. He was above me. He obviously did a quick turn around and came back and he ammo-racked me. I wasn't intending to go into the cap actually. I was waiting to take a position near the cap and wait for him to come back, because obviously he would have to come back when the KV2R revealed himself. So he did a very sneaky thing there, went up on top of the hill, he went down the ice road, turned around and came back. Well, he has every intention of sitting up there and waiting for our guys to turn up. This guy's got enough health that in theory he should be able to survive, but the big question is the E25 still going to be there when he arrives? He may know from the bar at the top that this guy's fairly healthy. It's going to take more than one shot for him to kill the KV2, and even with the fast fire rate, 2 seconds per shot from that 75mm gun, it means he's only going to get what, 10 shots in on this KV2R before the KV2R reloads if he doesn't get in with the first shot. Now maybe I shouldn't have actually gone up to the cap and should have stayed where I was and waited for the enemy to come to our cap. That's a good question. Maybe I should have. He doesn't appear to be up on top of the hill. Remember, I got spotted when I was fairly close to the cap. Yeah, I don't think he's on the hill. But this guy is acting as if he is. But he ought to get into the cap. Because that forces the E25 to come back, because he can't ignore the KV2R. Question is, which side is he going to approach from? The ice road or the other side? I would expect him to appear from this side, the south side, because if you try to come from the ice road side, you have to go over that hill in order to get round, in order to get a shot at somebody who's hiding behind this ridge line, or behind the hill, you might say, next to the rock face. If he positions himself, he can actually use that dead E25 as cover from that side, all except for, of course, the turret, which is a well-known weak spot on the KV. I think he's facing the wrong way. In my view, he is. I'm going to face this way because I expect the enemy to appear from this direction. Turret rotation on the E25 is not that great, I'm afraid. It's very, very poor. And the turret rotation on E25, the turret rotation on the KV2 is wrong, and I was wrong because he is actually coming from the ice road side, and he has to come in now, and he has to get his shot quick. Don't try and poke out. Force him to come out. Because you're going to cap out and win, and he's left it too late, and that's it. It's all over. So KV2 did win in that occasion. He did have his turret facing the right direction, and it worked out okay. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Okay, only a second class tanker in this game, and I did more damage than I did in the ace tanker game. So I've got team score. Well, you can see top 6 on my team, I think it is. Yeah, top 5 actually on my team. But I was way down overall because, in fact, there was 5 members of the enemy team got more damage than I did, as well as 4 members of my own team, so that put me 9th overall. Normally, as I say, I'd be up around about this sort of level here, in top 3, with about 2,000 hit points of damage. I only ended up with 1,113 on this. Let's have a look at the kills. Only the 1 kill for me, and XP, top 6 again, but it's on what we normally expect. And if we look at credits, take off the auto supply consumables, we can see that I would have made a profit, but only 8,000 profit. I think one of the things that they are doing, Wargaming are doing, by reducing the amount of damage and stun that you actually get, they are massively decreasing the profitability of tanks like the M44, which means that people won't be playing it because it doesn't generate credits anymore. It is the most profitable non-premium vehicle. Quickie Baby actually worked that one out. More profitable than the Panzer IV Ausführung H with the derp gun. But of course that won't be the case after this. It will be one of the Aslains. People won't use it, people won't play it. And when people won't play it because they don't find it interesting or it's not generating credits anymore, then I'm afraid they are going to leave the game. So Wargaming's going to miss out. So there you go. I will come back to the M44 a little later. That's all the M44 testing for the moment. I'll see if I can get another hour in with the M44 later on, but I've got to test other Artys, and the next one we're going to do is the M53 and M55. So thanks for watching.